Welcome to the Strength Sessions Shed Quarters. I'm Tom, and we're going to talk about the dead start skater squat. Last month we did constant tension style, where we don't touch the floor. We go down, we hover, we come back up again. This month we do the dead start. Here we go down, we land on the kneecap, we take our time, then we power back up from a dead start. Main thing, these will strengthen your quads, they will strengthen your glutes, and they will strengthen your hamstrings, as well as a bunch of stabilizer muscles. Typically, we get more range of motion on the dead start than on the constant tension. It suits a more strength-based workout because we use extra range of motion and we have to come up from a dead start, which is harder in and of itself. That's why we do these this month. Constant tension last month. From slightly more endurance-y last month to slightly more strength theme this month. So you stand tall, initiate the move by reaching the arms out in front of you, bring the back leg out behind you, and then you control the descent. Then take your time, pause, then reach forwards, stamp back up. Imagine you're stamping through the floor, lifting your body up. The more force you can put into the floor, the lower you're going to be able to squat from. The classic error with these is actually kicking the floor with the back foot. That means you're not strong enough or coordinated enough to get it right, and you've got to practice. Sometimes if I teach people first time, they're not sure, is it a squat, is it a lunge, and they get confused. So make sure that this is your bottom position with the back foot off the floor. At no point should the back foot kick the floor, otherwise you failed the rep. So here and up. If you can't do it, regress the move, make it easier. Add mats, add pillows, add cushions, and then you'll be squatting from a higher position. Firstly, obviously, use a decent mat or a suitable cushion that you're not going to miss, that gives you enough padding so it doesn't hurt your knee when you land on it. These should work the front leg. The whole point of them is that they don't work the back leg. Make sure you've got nice soft padding so you don't hurt your kneecap. It's hard enough without that. So if it's too hard on the floor, you may need a higher mat or pile of blankets, couple of pillows, use your duvet. Find something that's soft enough and high enough, because we don't want messy sort of grinding reps. We want so you can do clean, neat reps for the whole set. So find the right level. So a much easier rep using the mat like I use in the gym would be like here. Land, control, reach, stamp. Once you've mastered it from the floor, use a couple of books or a step to make it a little bit harder, and then we're squatting from a deficit. If you're really good at that, then we can use a weight, goblet style, or even on the back. So imagine you're just starting out with these and you can't get back up from the floor without kicking the floor, and you need to start on a relatively high mat. That's fine, that's where you are now. But should you build enough strength that you can then do it to the floor from an elevated platform? And that simply means you've built huge amounts more strength right through your quads, glutes and hamstrings, and your entire legs are going to be different. So that is our focus here. Some people will be strongest with their back knee quite close in a more upright, more quad dominant position. Most people will find it's actually easiest to land a little bit further back, 2 or 3 inches behind that front heel, and this is a position where you can really access the glute muscles. You can feel that stretch at the bottom, which is what we want, that pre-stretch. That gives us power. We wait until we feel ready, then we drive up. So your spine position. There's no weight on your back at first on these. So it's not the end of the world if you round your back, but we don't really want to train that position. We want you to keep the spine straight. However, these do benefit from hinging over just so you can activate the glutes a little more. So stand up nice and tall, reach your hands out, reach your back leg out the way, hinge over as you come down and land wherever you feel strongest. Hopefully you took my advice and got a nice soft mat. That doesn't mean you can crash down. You're going to work the eccentric, the lowering phase, so you hinge out and you control down, landing softly. What I like people to do with this, even though it's a dead start, that doesn't mean we go from a lazy front leg position. We like to pre-stretch those front muscles the best we can, so we learn to load them. So, you'll start tall, you'll land softly, get that back foot out the way, you land. Here we take our time, but we don't want to stay over here, we feel like we can't move. So you come back, you get tall, and then you reach and stamp. So you go reach, stamp through this heel, and then power up. Control down, land, take your time, reach, stamp. You take your time, you land, gently, tall, reach, hinge, look down, stamp down, power to the top. The hardest part, yes, just that bottom inch or two. But once you're through that part, we need some power. We're not resting on the way up. You take your time, you grind the first inch, you power to the top. Okay, if your setup can't be changed, or you're trying to get used to a new depth, you can cheat these by dragging the back foot if you need to. I don't like you to do it all the time, but sometimes for a couple of weeks it might be the best option. Or maybe just you'll do most of your workout with one height and then you want to try the next level, learn to control the eccentric but cheat just a little bit on the way up. So you might land, take your time, and then back foot down, drag up. Just a nice way to cheat these when the time is right. I'm probably going to refilm this because the bloody kids next door are making a lot of noise and the wind is making a lot of noise and I'm not sure I was very clear and I can't really be asked, but maybe it'll turn out alright. So that is the Dead Start Skater Squat, the main move of month 2. You don't need loads of leg stuff, you just need to master this. I'm Tom, this is the Strength Sessions. See you in the next video.